Good morning. It is Saturday. It is the 12th, and I am in the Green Mountains. And it is a fair thing to say that summer is in fact over. It is snowing. It's wet snow, but it's snowing in October up here, so that's what we're in for today. The conditions are not exactly what I expected, but we're here. We're going to see what we can get done. We're actually in the Bowtie area today, so a little bit northeast of the Five Bogs. And we're going to get in here and look for sign, that kind of a thing. Last week we had some hunting presence in the area when I was hoping to have some activity. Didn't work out that way. So this week we're looking a little bit to the northeast to explore a theory up here. And we're going to get moving. Conditions today, quite frankly, suck. It's colder than expected. The weather said it was going to stop raining. I guess the interpretation for that is it's basically sleeting out right now. I am soaked because combination of morning dew and sleet and the like. And being as this is one big sponge, I'm wondering if entry into the area I'd thought about hitting is even doable today. Mainly just because of the swamp factor. This normally isn't underwater. So, yeah. I think this is going to be one of those days where we just kind of see what we can get done. So, if the rain would stop and I could hit a dry spot, though, from the last time I was here, let me face the beaver lodge over there had a great blue heron's nest. That does not seem to be here anymore. And my skepticism for entering the wetland is growing, if I'm being blunt. The trouble with a wetland of this nature is it's basically a gigantic sponge. And areas normally not underwater are, so that might be. This is a lot deeper too. So, and to get over to that, I kind of have to get over there. That's a lot wider than it normally is. So, noting the slippery nature of this environment too, so I'll get as far over as I can, but not sure what my success rate's going to be today. It's one of those days when the seasons change, and they change fast up here, I guess. I knew it was going to be chilly. I did not expect I didn't expect snow yet, though. But it's here, so. It's also proving a little harder to move because my pants are soaked. So they're sticking more. And comfort level, the temperature is about, there's your obligatory moose tracks. Temperature is basically about just above freezing. It's about 33 right now. So I'm not freezing, but it's not exactly balmy weather either. It's a dramatic change from last week when I was in the Five Bogs area. And this stream normally is needed to be jumped. If it's this, here's the dilemma with a visual. This is normally jumpable, and clearly it isn't. And this might actually be the end of the line, because I'm going to a wetland over there, and all this excess water is flowing over there. So that is an issue. And I'm looking for a clean way to scout around the back of that. That looks like a little bit of a scramble, because that's the only way. I'm already soaked from that. I don't need to go wading in cold water too. But let's see what I can do here. I'd like to at least get a look at the wetland, but the fact that this is as steep as it is and all that water is going into it, the hoped for conditions are not there. I can already tell you that. I'm just curious how bad it is. I don't think I can get much further than this. The steep factor and slick leaf factors. The beavers have been busy, but normally to get over into that, I have to get over there. And if I go all the way down there, then I either have to go all the way around this, and that doesn't really, I don't know. I'm wondering if today is a good day for easier pickings, because this is looking pretty rough. So this video may suck because the conditions do. And yeah, what I can try to do, how high up is this, is try not trust that. I'm going to try to go up and over, because it's too steep to go parallel. I'm going to go up and around, try to maneuver more to my advantage if I can. This is a little more workable, if not wet, but then again, we're already soaked. And then maybe there's a downhill aspect I can work with. But I love how everything is these shallow little pines. That's just going to get me soaked again. It's like Manitow Jr. Even that's a little steep. And again, foot placement's tricky when you can't see what's underneath your feet. This isn't normally this impenetrable, but see, this is getting tricky. So I am thinking discretion is going to win here. Actually, you see an end to the pines down there. If I can maneuver past this log and not get A, stabbed, or B, trip, which would greatly increase my likelihood of getting stabbed. That would suck. But let's see how bad the water situation is down here. And again, there's lots of little grabber bushes. That's going to be a nightmare getting in there. I mean, I can go down this and around, but I wanted to get out. The bow tie is always beyond those trees over there, and it's like kind of cut off. So I'm not... I may abort this in favor of other areas. I think I'm going to abort. Yeah. The whole area is going to be underwater. I can't do what I'm going to do. My apologies, folks. I am going to opt not to go wading up to my waist in really dark, cold water. I'm wet enough as it is. And it's not quite to the point where you feel hypothermic as long as you're moving, but it's tricky enough without, because again, with clothes sticking to skin because it's soaked, your dexterity's not optimal even. This is rather steep and I got to kind of angle down to get back to more or less where I was. And yeah, I'm going to opt for something else. This is just, you know, I'm sorry, but this is just too, that place is going to be waterlogged, and as a result, it just isn't doable, I don't think. I just need to figure out my way down here. I'm also trying to avoid any kind of a Charlie horse kind of thing, given the cold factor too. Not that the terrain is that horrible, but you don't need the help. This part anyway, that part is, I just can't get over there. And I don't really have a burning desire to see how really chilly this water is either, because I doubt it's going to be overly warm. If you had a crossing spot, I could get on that and have a better look, but I'm not finding that. I'm finding a lot of deep water. What about this? How solid is this thing? Because that would work. And I can get up and over. Let's try that before we thoroughly abandon. Good. Thank you, beavers, for making part of that doable. I am still dubious, though, of... I'd wager if somebody were here right now, we're going to get to the wetland, and it is going to be nothing but a lake. And it's normally not, so... But I know I said I was giving up. I am curious enough, I want to see that, and I'm already soaked, so that part, what's done there is done, but, and a moose, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get up where it's not as thick, and I can maneuver to the wetland. Much better. Much better. But I still don't think I'm going to penetrate into the wetland. It is just way too much water. You might get to see, though, just how big an effect rain has on this area. It's a bummer too, because I wanted to do get into this a little bit today. I haven't been in here in a while, but you got to jump a stream here too, so let's factor how good or bad that is as a gauge for what lies beyond. I'm also kind of looking at the tracks because I'm Something came through here, but I'm definitely leaning towards a moose. Okay, so I had to jump something, and I don't trust that, to be perfectly honest. But you got this rock over here, and more lovely sludge. Let's see, what's that go to? Got that rock and a big tree in the way. And your feet will get wet, so this is frustrating. It's enough to tempt you and be tricky at the same time. So that's not that steep, but if you don't make the jump, you are getting wet. Then you got to get back. The rock is not unslippery either, so. You don't trust my jumping abilities. No, because that's like a visual aversion and you're jumping right into it and you're going to trip on this shit too. Damn it. How solid are you looking? Okay. Because this is almost like a straight beeline to that over there. Yeah, like I said, you're in the way, buddy. All right, so we're gonna make this after all. Let's see. Yeah, we're soaked. All right, there's not as much water as I thought, but we're not there yet either. But yeah, we gotta walk through all this and get over to there, and then we'll have an idea of how bad this is. And if it is, well, we can walk all the way back and get soaked all over again. It is that time of year. And damn, what a difference a day makes, because a lot warmer last week. And it's been muggy down south all week too, so I would actually probably welcome this to some degree if in fact I was doing this further south. But in the 30s, that kind of it's normally swampy anyway, but and if I do drone today, it's probably not going to be here because it's just too damn wet. There's this thing about everything being soggy and expensive electronics that just, that's not encouraging. Just doesn't work well. So, yeah, my fleece is soaking wet. It's a good thing I brought an extra coat. Here we are. So, how much of an absolute nightmare or not is the deceptive meadow looking area, because I already see water, and this first little section is probably going to tell the tale. Oh yeah, it's gushy. This is, if there's no dry spots, this is going to be a friggin' nightmare. That is not encouraging. Maybe if I stick to the edge, I can make a ways over. Nope. That's the kind of stuff I don't want to deal with. That is deep. Root stealing deep. It's wetter than Manitou normally is. Yeah, I'm thinking if the side is even soggy, this is just not the day to be here. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm not encouraged. Because the problem is all this is, I'm literally sinking in this as I'm standing here. The only way to not really sink past a point is to have perpetual motion, and I'm looking over there and I see nothing but water too. This thing is just a big sponge, like I said. Yeah, it's all wet. Alright. I don't know what form the video is going to take at this point, but I will say that conditions are going to be a limitation today. That fucking... Yeah, because there's spots there where it's like the moss here is... That's literally what I'm standing on. If you break through the moss like I just did, how deep it is, you don't know. And it is cold and wet and swampy, so my apologies to folks who wanted to see that, but it's just, I'm already soaked again. Now my boots are wet. Awesome. So yeah, we're get a couple of photos, but this is not the best time I've ever had in here. It's all literally just soaked. So we're gonna go looking for easier pickings. Probably head south. That is when we get back to the car and get through all of this, because this is not the most fun we've ever had. There's like a little swamp water moving around my boot right now. So, oh well. I mean, they're waterproof, but again, waterproof only works as well as as high as the boot goes, rather. And if I hop here and then get in the piney stuff, maybe that's gonna save me the need for a trickier jump down the way. There's always a tree right there though. But yeah, we're gonna do this. Wish I'd found that before I was trying to get across that log, but we're over, so that works. And then we just gotta follow this tree line through these damn trippy things, which I despise. And I think we did that too soon, because that's all swamp over here. Shite. Shite. Now I have to jump again. I did not accomplish what I thought I did. Get out of the damn way. No. It's not that necessarily I couldn't get in there, but the cons outweigh the pros by about 4 tons. So, no, we're going to abstain from that and work our way back to the car and head south and stop dragging that damn stick along my foot. But the one lie of the weather is the fact that it was supposed to stop raining, and that obviously has not happened. What side am I on? Oh, yeah. Now we must cross. Or we can stay on this side and see if this is a lot easier and we did it the hard way the first time. We don't have to cross multiple times. I like that option better. And if I can just go up and around and then kind of down in parallel, it avoids the need to visit the wading pool. Or this segment of it anyway. Nope, you gotta go up and over. Because that big thing of logs there. But if I can do that from here, that's easier, so we will. And if I knew where the trail intersected with this stretch of woods, I'd bypass this altogether. But you son of a bitch. Or not. Thanks for the lift. All right. Also, on a squatchy note, I gotta get around that. These conditions for tracking are not ideal, to say the least. This is just an exercise in aggravation. So, I don't know how watchable this first portion will be, but anyone has a working weather machine, you let me know. Had to get around that. Now I can more or less try to come down on this angle and get around this thing, and we're back more or less where we started. And just got whipped in the nose. That stung. But I'm a little bummed because it really limits what you can do in here. This is usually a pretty cool area to be. And the rise in the water is making that a royal pain. So